Hey, what's up? Daniel once again. Day 14. No green smoking, clean machine, remain on the scene. Not smoking but stacking the green. Ha! So, since this whole Mary J thing is getting kind of boring for me, I'm kind of past this, you know? I'm not even halfway through and it's like, whatever. Passe. Passe. So, instead of worrying about focusing on, stuff that doesn't even matter, like the weed that I don't even smoke no more, I figured today, give me 1 second, gotta get my magnesium juice. 1 sec. So today we're gonna do a little story time. I see a lot of videos on YouTube. Shout out Terry Joel Jr., military, straight soldier, PEI. What's up, man? Respect to that kid, man. That's the homie right there. Him and many others making a lot of videos, exposing the truth, exposing people in general, uh, you know, exposing people, places, and things for what it is. So I got a story, a little blast from the past. I used to have this friend, and now over time I realize it's an absolute joke. Not a friend no more, no friend of mine. So back, oh man, how far are we going back? I think we're going back like 15, 16 years ago. This is funny, man, funny. So me and this old friend of mine, we used to be really close, and it was the end of the year. It was like the time of the year where you have a job and you have for your work you have your Christmas parties, right? We all have our Christmas parties around the same time, either slightly before Christmas or slightly after Christmas or whatever. So it was around like Christmas time, and it was like Christmas parties and all that. So he and I, we had our Christmas parties for our work. We worked at different places. He worked for some company, I worked for some company back then. But we had our Christmas parties the same day, the same night. I believe this was a Friday night. Ah, that's good. I believe it was the same night. So we have our Christmas parties, and we make an agreement. I lived with my grandmother at the time, and the rules over there was doors closed at like 9 o'clock. You're in or you're out for the night. It didn't matter. It was like you were either inside by a certain time or you weren't coming in because they were in bed and whatever. So this old friend of mine, we make an agreement. He says, yeah, man, we'll meet up after our Christmas parties, and you can come sleep at my house, and we'll smoke, we'll drink, and we'll have a good time. We'll continue the party after the party type thing, right? So we were close at the time. We listened to all the same rap music and all that. So I finished. I went to my Christmas party. It was at the casino, and his Christmas party was like some restaurant downtown or something, if I remember correctly. And so when I finished my Christmas party, pardon me, finished my Christmas party, my manager drove me back into town around where I grew up and where my where I was supposed to meet my friend and the main street of the area. So my manager drove me back into town from downtown, and he dropped me off, and he's saying, hey, you sure you're all good? You're gonna be fine. He knew I lived with my grandmother, and he knew, you know, the nature of where I was getting dropped off was like I was relying on somebody. So he says, you're gonna be good. I said, yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna go call my friend, and everything's gonna be cool. So I go to the payphone. Don't even have a cell phone at the time, but my friend at the time, he has a cell phone. That's how we planned to get into contact. So I go to the payphone and I call his phone. No answer. I think I called this guy's phone like 17 times before he finally answers. So he answers the phone. Hey man, no. I'm like, take me serious for a minute here. It's freezing cold out here. I'm supposed to go stay at your house. I can't even get into my house anymore. My grandparents are in bed. So he tells me, oh, I came to the Christmas party and had like a date with this girl who works at the office at my work, and I came together with her like a date. And he says, well, I'm kind of going back to her house tonight with her. What? So I say, you mean to tell me you're leaving me stranded out here to get some ass? The guy gets argumentative on the phone. No, whatever. Can't talk no sense into him. He's thinking with the wrong head. Pathetic simp. Gets better for me. Just wait till the end. So I think I'm like walking around in the middle of the night. It was like maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it's like -10, -15 outside. So I'm walking around the boulevard, the avenue, just like aimlessly. Like, what am I supposed to do? So by luck, I bump into another old friend. We were still cool at the time. So I bump into him and I say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Nice to fancy to see you here. And he's walking like here, and his girlfriend's walking like 100 meters behind him. So I'm saying to myself, what is this? World War III couples edition? What's going on here? So he says, oh, I'm beefing with the wifey, this and that. Chaos, toxic, garbage. Anyway, so he says, yeah, man, come stay at my house. It's all good, whatever. So, luckily, by the grace of, I had somewhere to stay. So I went to his house and we watched, that was actually Russell Peters' first special had just came out around that time. It had to be like 2005, 2004, something like that. So I go to his house and he introduces me to the Russell Peters special. We're smoking, we're chilling, having some drinks, and watching, classic Russell Peters. Somebody gonna get a head healed bad. That one. Can't forget that one, man. Can't forget that one. Timeless classic. So that's that. Him and his girlfriend are beefing all night into the morning. Like, I wake up there in the morning, he's jamming to 50 Cent's new Massacre album, Somebody Gonna Die Tonight. I'm like, man, get me the out of here, man. This is toxic. This is crazy. I gotta go home, man. I need to rest my head, relax. So long story short, short story long. So Uh, this Me and this guy, we stayed friends either way, because I was like, I guess, forgiving. I guess I kind of saw past it. I was like, people make mistakes, and we'll get past this, whatever. So we remained friends for maybe a few more years. We were still pretty close, and I think about a year, yeah, maybe about a year or so after this, he ended up moving in with this girl. And the girl that he ditched me, he went to her place and left me in the street type thing. So this is where his karma, my revenge without lifting a finger, begins. So he moves in with this girl. I think before he moved in, we used to hang out with her and whatever at her place, and we'd all smoke and drink and hang out, have a good time, whatever. So eventually he moves in with her. Might have been 6 months after the Christmas party fiasco, whatever. So he moves in with her, and he tells me maybe a month or so in, he's relaxed, he's chilling, but don't forget, everyone, no surprise, he's already paying like what? He's paying half the rent, so he could live there. Anyway, so he's paying half the rent, maybe full rent. Simp that this guy is. This guy's real pathetic. So I think he's paying half the rent with her. He moves in with her. And he's like, we're tight at the time, so he fills me in with what's going on, what's the scoop, whatever. So whenever I meet up with him, go for a ride in the car, smoke, hang out, he would keep me in the loop. So it started like this. At first, he could smoke in the house. He could treat it like, his home, like it should be. So he could smoke in the house. It was all good. And then, I don't know, maybe a month into that, she didn't want him smoking in the house no more. In his own house, in his own place, whatever, apartment, whatever it was. Paying half the rent though, right? So then, you can smoke in the house, you can relax, you can have friends over. Turns into, you can't have nobody over, I don't want nobody over. True colors start to come out, Didn't take too long. Exposed. So, I think a month in, she doesn't want people over no more. And she's like, he's telling me this, right? Don't forget. Oh, walk over to the store, get me my case of beer, and you could smoke. You could smoke when you go take a walk and pick up my case of beer, peasant, type thing. So, so he tells me that, yeah, she doesn't want me smoking in the house no more. So now he's got to smoke on his way to the dep, on his way to the store to get her beer. Your Majesty. This ends so well for me. I mean, it's effortless. Karma just really is no joke. Especially when you mess with a chosen. No, 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 no. Big no, no, big no, no. So then that turns into, she don't want him smoking at all no more. So this guy's like losing his freedoms like us during the pandemic. One after another incrementally. So she says, I don't want you smoking anymore. So now this guy has to like hide that he's smoking, meet up with me or whoever, a couple of our friends. We all smoke, and then he's gotta like smoke a cigarette and blow it all over himself. I'm laughing like this is a clown show, like who tolerates this, So turns into that. Can't smoke no more. Can't smoke in the house. Can't have friends over. Can't smoke out of the house. Can't like do nothing pretty much, right? Um, she's basically, you're my little bee now. I won't say the word. So, not too long after that, she, not too long after that, I believe he's like, saying it's chaos, can't stand it, whatever. But he keeps hitting it, like the genius that he is. He gets her pregnant. Ha! Huh! Bosco. Huh. I can't do it, but we all know Bosco. Bosco 100. Um, Gets her pregnant. Baby's on the way, whatever. So I believe, yeah, they have the kid, and then he's not allowed to smoke no more. He's really allowed to have a person. He's not allowed to have a personal life, all that. So basically, gets so toxic in this apartment that he tells me, "Listen, man, when she's at work tomorrow, I need your help. I need you to help me move all my shit out of this house. I'm moving back home with my parents. I'm done. This goes crazy. Look at the scratch on my head, the scratch on my arm, bruise on my head, on my face, whatever, you name it. Physical altercations, everything. Toxic, toxic, toxic." So he says, "You gotta help me move out." Me, the good person I am, hey, call me in the morning, say no more, I'll come help you out. So we go to the apartment in the morning. We start moving out everything. A successful move, she was at work. I guess she didn't see it coming, really. Moves out all of his stuff. He moves back home, whatever. A big show, proceeds after that, because then it's custody, alimony, child support, all that. His life's over for 18 years, right? So, meanwhile, the same guy, "Oh man, just, find a girl and just have a kid. Oh, you just, the feeling of having a little boy call you daddy. Oh, yeah, and the feeling of being punched in the face by your girlfriend and not having, no rights and no privacy, no no right to do what you want in your own house, no peace of mind. Can't put a price on that." So all that happens. These two, they split up. Doesn't work, right? So, and I was the one that helped this guy save money. I would give him advice and stuff, and he ended up saving like $10,000 or whatever before he met her. Guess what he had left by the time he moved out of this psychopath's house? Big fat zero. F all. Because he's a bozo like most men. Absolute joke. So what happens, from what I remember, he moves back home. We still remain friends, all that, whatever, for a duration of time after that. And then, we kind of went our separate ways. I had better things to do in my life than deal with idiots like this. People who turn into losers because they're desperate to have companionship. I don't fall into this category. We don't resonate no more, really. So I evolved. I'm evolving. I'm getting better, doing different things with my life. And then he meets another girl on a dating site or whatever. If I'm not mistaken, he has another kid. She already had a kid. He already had his own kid with that other psycho. And then he knocks up this girl. So now he's got kid number 2. Idiot. With psycho number 2. Dumbass. So, That's that. I believe that relationship lasted a couple of years or something. I used to see his car parked at a house nearby, and it was the girl's parents' house and whatever. And I'm not sure how long that lasted, but it ended eventually. So now, the same guy left me for dead, left me out in the cold at 11 o'clock at night in the middle of the winter. Uh, this is only so far, right? Just keeping up the track record. He's got two different kids with two different crazy women. So he's got two different child supports. He's got two different, custody visitation rights, probably once, twice a month with each. Whatever it is, not my problem. I don't care. People make their bed, they lay in it. You're desperate for companionship. You get what you deserve. So, so basically, I forget. Yeah, I think he moved to his grandparents' house or something like that after he broke up with the other girl. And so he moved into his grandparents' basement, probably eating them Cheetos. Shout out Terry Joe, Cheeto eating dorks. Uh, so yeah, he moves in with his grandfather in the basement. He's got two different kids, separated families. Um, so yeah, then he meets another girl. To my knowledge, she already had three kids, I think, with two different fathers. So now he's with her, moves in with her. If I'm not mistaken, he has another kid with her. Didn't learn the first time. Didn't learn the second time. Didn't learn the third time. Three strikes are out, punk. That's what you get. Now this guy is back in his grandfather's basement, probably eating Cheetos, watching porn, broker than a mofo. Life's over, man. Life's over. And that's what you get. So now he's got three different kids with three different psychopath women and no future left. Three different child support payments, three different visitation, custody, right, whatever. Not my problem. I could care less. I could care less. I don't have these stupid responsibilities that I place on myself. I made the right choices. I stayed the course like strong people do. So this guy's got three kids, lives in grandpa's basement, drives a truck for a living. I think he has 40-50% of his paycheck left at the end of all the alimony every month for probably another 10, 12 years, however old all the kids are. The moral of this story: watch who you mess with. Be careful who you play with. Be careful who you take for granted, because karma can just hit you like a freight train, and you won't even know it.